Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Christian Wild from the Hanse-Parlament in Germany, and today I'm going to present you the INTAG project, Integration of Migrants by means of competency assessment and further vocational training. So why do we need the INTAG project in the first place? The starting points were the years 2015 and 2016, when a large number of refugees arrived in Europe. Those people needed to be integrated into the workforce. But before being integrated into the workforce and being capable of finding a job, their qualifications needed to be recognized. The procedures we have so far are often very long-lasting and bureaucratic, leading to decreasing levels of motivation among the refugees. At the same time, many refugees often acquired their qualifications and competencies through a non-traditional way. So the required trainings for the formal recognitions are often characterized through high dropout rates due to the long duration, underwhelmed participants, and an unstimulating environment. At the same time, the situation in many European countries is that SMEs are lacking qualified workers. This shortage of skilled workers is expected to increase in the next years due to the demographic change. We are also in need of more entrepreneurs. For example, every year more jobs are lost due to failed business transfers because no entrepreneurial successor is available. Then new jobs are created through startups. And we have an alarmingly high unemployment rate among foreigners, meaning that existing integration measures and programs are often not as successful as expected. So, what did we want to achieve with the INTAG project? It starts with the reliable identification of competencies, aptitudes and predispositions with regards to the job opportunities through a two-stage assessment procedure. Following to this two-stage assessment procedure, we designed high-quality and comprehensive further vocational training programs, finishing with an officially recognized diploma that corresponds to the results of the competence assessment. This whole process is accompanied by individual coaching and placement into long-term SME jobs. In a nutshell, we wanted to achieve a quick and sustainable integration of newly arrived migrants in the work life and at the same time helping SMEs by counteracting the increasing shortage of skilled workers and qualified entrepreneurs in Europe. What are the different partners of the INTAG project? Besides the Hanse-Parlament from Germany, we also have participating the Vocational Academy from Hamburg, Satakunta University from Finland, the Chamber of Crafts from Olsztyn, the Chamber of Crafts from Schwerin, Technology, Transfer and Innovation from Italy, and the Institut für angewandte Gewerbeforschung from Austria. As transfer partners, we had 50 different chambers and 20 universities from 13 European countries. These were integrated through the Hanse-Parlament and the Baltic Sea Academy network. So what were the different target groups we approached with the INTAG project? Of course, in the first place, this project was serving the newly arrived migrants. But also an important target group of this project were SMEs, helping them to counteract the shortage of skilled workers. Then we also included and targeted public administrations and other organizations which are involved in the assessment and the recognition of competences, as well as in the qualification and integration of migrants, by providing them with a new program for the integration of migrants into work life. And we also targeted politics on the local, national and European level with this project. The duration of the project was 36 months. It started the 1st of January 2018 and will finish the 14th of January 2021. This project was funded by Erasmus+, and located in the Erasmus Plus Key Action 3, support for policy reform, social inclusion through education, training and youth. So, how does the structure of the process look in detail? The project management was accompanying the whole project, of course. Then, before starting the individual work with the refugees, in the work package 2, we defined regional action alliances and fostered international cooperation to be able to support all the following processes. Work package 3 is the identification of competences and integration plans. In the first stage, competences, aptitudes, predispositions of refugees were identified in Germany, in Denmark and in Italy. Then, in the second stage, individual qualification and integration plans for each refugee were created through personal assessments by experts. Then we split the refugees in two different groups, Group A and Group B. Group A was defined by refugees whose competencies qualify for further vocational training. And Group B was characterized by refugees whose existing competences do not qualify for further vocational training. Already here, in this stage of the process, individual and group coaching was available and supported the refugees. Then follows the work package 4, development and implementation of qualification programs. The refugees from Group B, whose competences did not qualify for further training, received further advice and support on starting initial vocational training by the different actors of the action alliances we gathered already before. The refugees from the target Group A, whose competencies qualified for further vocational training, in the next step received 3 different vocational training programs, finishing with state-recognized degrees. Of course, not every refugee needed to complete all 3 programs. It was possible to either complete 1 program, 2 programs, or all 3 programs. At the same time, language courses were offered if refugees needed them. Also here, individual and group coaching complemented the process. In the 5th work package, the individual coaching programs and integration into work life, the coaching programs were fostered and strengthened for each refugee. This included at least 3 different 2 to 3 week internships, a follow-up and language training if it was needed, and job application training and support to find employment and consultations during the initial training period. Also, we designed a train-the-trainer seminar to promote this concept through to other education institutions. The results of this project and all application procedures and curricula and teaching materials were disseminated to 68 different business development organizations and university education institutions in 13 different countries. Also, we provided individual implementation consultations to these institutions. So what were the different outputs we produced in the INTAC project? First, we produced blueprints for the setup and the development of action alliances and international cooperation. Then we collected best practices for competency and identification and different assessment methods. Then also we collected best practices for individual consultations and planning for integration and qualification measures. We created curricula, teaching materials, and state-recognized examination regulations for 3 different further vocational training programs: business administration, finance and accounting, energy efficiency and renewable energies, and digitization, CAD and 3D printing. We developed best practices and the curriculum for the Train the Trainer program, and we developed blueprints for coaching and integration programs, and we developed political recommendations and a strategic program for further pursue this topic. This slide shows you graphically how the qualification and integration program is structured and can take place. In the first month, the assessment and individual plans take place, followed with the language training and the training for participating institutions. The next step in the 4th and 5th month is the first vocational training. Already before this vocational training, internships in SMEs can take place. And if this internship is successful, already at this stage, an integration into the work life and starting a new job in an SME is possible. You see, then it goes back to more further vocational training, language training if necessary, and more internships. But the special thing about this program is that there is an ongoing integration into the work life, into permanent jobs possible. So thank you very much for your attention. I hope you enjoyed this short introduction to the INTAG project, and please also have a look at the following videos who will deal more in detail with the different steps and the different parts of the INTAG project and how we implemented and created different measures in the participating countries. Thank you very much for your attention.